You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the Patriots and the Falcons. And we're going to talk about Eliot Wolf, who now looks like the pseudo general manager for the Patriots. And before we get to that, we're going to talk about the fact that, oh my goodness, the media is not going to be happy because it turns out the Atlanta Falcons offered the job to Bill Belichick. Ruh-roh. That's right, because I've seen a lot of media entities trying to take a victory lap that Belichick didn't get a job and wasn't offered a job. And we're finding out now, he just did not want to jump knee-deep in the mess known as Terry Fontenot and Rich McKay. So he turned the job down. I had to think something was going on behind the scenes when he was ultimately not offered the job. Now, you still hired Raheem Morris when Mike Vrabel was available, and I mean, I don't know what teams were intimidated by him, but here we are. I did that video yesterday morning, so I don't know which beta-driven front office was scared of Mike Vrabel, but I would have hired Mike Vrabel before Raheem Morris, but okay, it makes the Raheem Morris hiring go down the pie hole a little better, knowing Belichick turned that job down. One source told CBS Sports lead NFL insider Jonathan Jones that Morris, quote, killed the interview and won over Atlanta's brass, but was he really the Falcons' first choice? On WFAN's Boomer and Geo recently, Boomer Esiason said that an NFL executive told him Falcons owner Arthur Blank offered Belichick the job. Quote, supposedly Arthur Blank was bought into Bill Belichick and could have offered him the job, Esiason began. Did Belichick say no to the Falcons? Quote, I don't know why guys say no, but legitimately an NFL executive basically told me that Arthur Blank offered Bill the job, Esiason said. Very interesting. With an NFL team potentially hiring Belichick, there were always going to be questions. How long would the contract be for? How much money? How does a legendary lead man fit into the front office? But this situation didn't sound like caveats ruined the deal, according to Esiason. The way it was made to sound to me was like, okay, I understand your concerns, but you're going to have to deal with some of this. We want you to come in. We want you to be the coach. And then maybe he just thought better of it, Esiason said. And just maybe, you know what? I don't want to go right back in. I want a year away. I want to see what happens because we know there will be 5 or 6 openings next year, and there will maybe a better situation where an owner says, you know what? I want to go down this path with you, and I want you to take over the building. I want you to run it the way that you ran it with the New England Patriots. Let's say that doesn't happen. And let's say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall off a bit. I'm just using them as an example because I ultimately think he ends up in Dallas. I still think that's going to happen. I think it's going to happen next year because I think Mike McCarthy's going to shit the bed in the playoffs again. I don't know if it'll be in royal fashion like he did this year, but I still think ultimately he loses. Jerry has enough. I think Jerry's already talked to Bill. And I think that's where he goes. But Jason Light, a guy that's very familiar with Belichick, it just seems to be a fit. I just don't know if Bill would want to do that considering Brady went there. I think that may be the problem with Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay sort of went further than we thought they would go. So ultimately, there's no way they could have fired Todd Bowles and hired Bill Belichick. But I still look for connective tissue around the league with general managers or personnel guys and Bill Belichick, because I do think he comes back and coaches 3 or 4 more years starting next year. All right? I still think that's going to happen. I still think it's a team that thinks they're right there. They're this close. Buffalo Bills is the other one. Maybe the Bills more than the Buccaneers. So we got that out of the way. Let's go to Eliot Wolf. I don't know if this is going to fire up Patriot fans or not. My gut feeling is probably not, but I think everybody saw it coming. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reports Eliot Wolf is expected to be in charge of the personnel department, giving him control of the 53-man roster while working closely with new head coach Jerod Mayo, per a source. New England is also hiring veteran evaluator Alonzo Highsmith to be the senior personnel executive, Rappaport reports per a source. Now, Alonzo Highsmith was the Miami Hurricanes general manager. Yeah, that's where we are in college football, that the Hurricanes, that a college football team actually has a guy they call the general manager. That's crazy, but that's where we're at. Eliot Wolf, 41, joined the Patriots in 2020 as a consultant, later being elevated to director of scouting in 2022. The son of longtime Packers GM Ron Wolf has been scouting in the NFL for 2 decades, first joining Green Bay staff in 2004. The Patriots appear to spin, following their worst season in decades, appear ready to spin. Mayo recently said the team was ready to burn some cash. Are you going to burn cash responsibly? Or are you just going to willy-nilly do it? Like, we're going to sign Juju, but we're going to lose Jacoby Myers over $1 million. I still can't believe that. And now we're finding out that maybe it was the fact that Jacoby Myers had that big fumble against the Raiders, and Bill may have gotten rid of Jacoby over that or failed to bring the offer up. I mean, I love Belichick, but that's the kind of thing that drives me nuts. I think the whole Patriots offense looks different if you take out Juju and you drop Jacoby back in there. I think the whole thing would have looked different. In fact, I'm not too sure Bill's not still got a job. I'm just being real. And if he would have kept Nick Folk as the kicker, if you'd had a veteran kicker that can make field goals and kept Jacoby Myers, you might win 2 or 3 more games. Just saying. It's possible. Highsmith played for the Hurricanes during their rise to power in the mid-1980s. Spent 7 years as running back with the Oilers, Cowboys, and Buccaneers, running for 1,195 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was one of these guys that you just could not believe he was not better in the pros than he was, because he was really good in college. I remember watching him play quite a bit in the NFL and college. Wolf and Highsmith have worked together in Green Bay, where Highsmith began as an NFL scout in 2012 prior to rejoining the Hurricanes. Highsmith later spent time as an executive with the Browns from 2018 to 2019, Seahawks from 2020 to 2022. So the one connective tissue in all that is the fact that Baker Mayfield and Aaron Rodgers would have been drafted during those times if you're thinking about quarterbacks. All right? I mean, one could say, well, okay, Baker didn't work out for Cleveland. Yeah, but maybe he did, and they just gave up on him. Okay? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, too. You guys know how I feel about that. I think Cleveland ran Baker off. I just think they would be in a much better situation, all those draft picks, this and that and the other. Very quickly, there's a lot of talk about Joe Alt. He is far and away the best tackle coming out in this draft. And people have said if Eliot Wolf gets this job, he's drafting a tackle. 6'8", 322. Pass block grade on PFF, 91.2. I mean, guys, I see 6'8", 322, those kind of pass block grades, and I think of Trent Williams, a local guy to me right here, and Joe Thomas. I mean, if you got a chance to draft that kind of guy, you have to consider it. I believe in building offensive and defensive lines and building the team around. I know everybody's saying quarterback. They're going to take a quarterback in this draft, I think. But I don't know that it's going to be with that 3rd pick. I'm starting to believe it's going to look more and more like Joe Alt or Marvin Harrison Jr. And I still think they run it back with Mac Jones. I think that I'm starting to feel that. You're starting to hear it. Maybe not, but I do think he comes back as the backup. I think he'll be on this roster. Also, I'm making this call because of the Eliot Wolf thing and everything going on there with Alex Van Pelt. I don't know about Baker Mayfield, all right, on this team. Some people have drawn that. I've brought it up. Jacoby Brissett. You can get him for $5 million. Perfect bridge veteran quarterback if you do draft one. Even if you decide to run it back with Mac, if he clearly is shitting the bed 3 games in, boom, you drop in Jacoby Brissett. You're going to be competitive in every game with that guy, provided they put some talent. And my thing has always been, no point of bringing in Baker, no point of bringing in Kirk Cousins, no point of bringing in Justin Fields if you're not going to get weapons, because they're all going to crash and burn. It's not just Mac. They're all going to crash and burn. Without actual weapons, Justin Jefferson, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, real guys, real dudes to throw to. All right? So tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.